Are you PO'd? Me too. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. That's the Eli. But today, special edition, we are going to be Project Rely, where we rant, educate, lead, and inspire. You know, I've been asked by a number of different people, so what do you think about all the stuff that's been going on in Washington? And the first thing that comes to my mind is, I am so ignorant. These extremist groups are able to communicate on the dark web. I don't even understand the regular web, so what the heck is the dark web? Here's my point. These types of groups communicating with whatever media they're using to communicate with each other, this was not an unorganized event that happened in our nation's capital the other day. People came with weapons, people were prepared, people came dressed, I mean, they were ready to rock and roll, and then the fuse was lit by you-know-who, our favorite, and those actions were taken. My question is, you know, just because I don't know about the dark web, I'm sure the FBI, as an example, Department of Defense, for example, other three-letter agencies are familiar with this type of activity, and they monitor it, certainly for terrorist activities. Where the heck were they? How could they let this happen to the Mecca of democracy? You can't let this type of thing happen. Where was the FBI in all this? I'm confused. Also, if, you know, one of the things you say, well, you know, he never told them go ahead and go break in, came darn close, but the point is, he had to have some intelligence telling him that this was certainly a possibility from the communications that were going back and forth on the dark web. Yet he encouraged it, he inspired it, he motivated it. I'll be there with you. I'll be there with you. This is, you know, the straw that's breaking the camel's back. That happened months ago. That happened a year ago. You know, you have all these people that are in his, that he appointed, you know, cabinet members and some ambassadors and other people that have resigned, okay, because they have so much integrity. Where the hell was their integrity when this guy says, oh, the solution's right around the corner, it's not really a problem, you know, this thing is really being overblown, you don't need to wear a mask. I'm PO'd about wearing a mask. I'm PO'd about having to stay in my house. I'm PO'd about not being able to go on vacation. I'm not the only one that's PO'd. We're all PO'd. Now, here's my thoughts, and this is completely my thoughts. This is not anything that had, you know, that I saw facts, this, that, or the other thing. But these are my thoughts during this time. It seems to me like history is about to repeat itself. Okay, so we need to be very, very, very careful, or it has the possibility of repeating itself. Let me put it that way. It has a great possibility of repeating itself. Of what am I speaking? Well, back in the 1920s, there was a house painter named Hitler that started a movement that was grassroots, that a lot of people laughed at to begin with. And he had what's called the beer hall putsch, where there was some violence. He was arrested, he was put in jail, and somewhat was a celebrity. In fact, while he was in jail, he wrote his book Mein Kampf, which loosely translated means My Struggle, and became a bestseller, and that just strengthened his organization. And later on he came to power, and these types of groups form during extremely difficult financial times. We are in extremely difficult financial times right now. If we look in a crystal ball, the way things are going, it looks like we're going to remain in some very difficult financial times for a large number of people. So why do these groups evolve during this time? Because the people that are suffering the most are the ones that are looking to blame somebody. Hitler blamed the Jews, he blamed the communists, he blamed this, he blamed that. All of these different groups, he blamed them. And these groups, when they get bigger and bigger and bigger, have as their centerpiece always some form of hatred, some form of divisiveness. Hello, McFly, are we seeing this happening again? Here's the problem though. When Hitler was able to rise to power, there was no internet. So it all had to be done person to person, you know, rallies, meetings, so on and so forth. Now you don't even need to do that. All you have to do is get on the internet, and any yutz with a finger can get on the internet, make a video, and say what he wants to say, so on and so forth, which is okay, except when it calls for the overthrow of the United States government, for example. Right? I mean, so we are, all the ingredients are there. All the ingredients are there for this uprising to not only continue, but to happen again. We know that there are a lot of nuts out there. I mean, they're proud of it. You know, this is who I am, this is where I live, and these people are getting arrested. But you know there's more people behind them that do that. What needs to be done? Well, the same thing needs to be done now that should have been done back then, which is we need to make sure that the head of the snake is not able to hold federal office ever again. Now, impeachment, there's really not enough time for impeachment. Are they going to be able to do the 25th Amendment? Who knows? All right? Probably not. This is not a thing that you really want to have on record, but they need to find some sort of a way, and maybe there is. I'm not, you know, I'm an American history teacher, I'm a big history person, I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm hoping that there is some way that, constitutionally speaking, it can be arranged that this man never sees public office again. We can't let this type of thing happen. You know, all the ingredients are there. We have to make sure. Now, let me ask you this question. Let's suppose that after this term of office is over, that the president comes under indictment and is convicted and has to serve jail time. Well, we know that all ex-presidents get Secret Service protection. Does that mean that we're going to have a Secret Service agent in Sing Sing prison following him around? Just a question. But here we are, folks. We're all PO'd. We're all PO'd. And every other time you get PO'd, it doesn't help you a darn bit unless you take a minute and think. It's kind of like being a pilot in an airplane, like Sully Sullenberger, as an example, and finding out that your controls aren't working, you don't have control of the plane. Well, your first reaction is, I'm ticked off, I'm PO'd. But that's not going to help you land the plane. You still have to land the plane. So how are we going to land the plane? My suggestion is, please, let's find a way that this guy will never be in office again, because he has shown that he's willing to do anything and everything, and we don't need to have that in our great country. Are you with me on that? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. That's the way I see it. And because I'm never going to end one of these rants on a philosophical note, this is a bonus rant. Let's get out there and take charge! I'm Eli's dad.